Okay, hello and welcome to what's today's date? April 26th, 2022 occurrence of the Brigade Community Meeting. Let me bump up the size of my browser text here. Is this readable? Okay, cool. Actually, now I don't even know why I shared it because there isn't a significant agenda today. We're just going to do a really quick update on what the last 2 weeks have looked like and talk about what the next 2 weeks look like. And that's pretty much it. So the last 2 weeks have not looked like what I thought they were going to look like. So the last time we met, I talked about trying to get a few of the outstanding gateways across the line. Particularly, I was going to put some effort into the Bitbucket gateway and I think also the noisy neighbor. Let's see if yep, that's what we talked about last time. I also talked about starting to groom the backlog and prepare for basically map out what was going to be in the nenext release of Brigade itself. And that actually ended up taking up most of the time. The other thing that has been happening lately, which is actually a really good thing, is it's getting harder to plan things because the community is actually steering us in different directions, which at this stage is a good problem to have, right? Like we're not Kubernetes. We're not at a point where, we need to be saying, here's this big, massive release we're planning and we're planning on this schedule and it's going to have this feature and this feature and this feature. I think we're at a point where we have a burgeoning community and it's really more beneficial to us to be paying attention to that community and allowing them to tell us what they need and letting them steer us. So there was one particular feature enhancement that came in the last couple of weeks that kind of got prioritized because it came from somebody who I know is actually using Brigade 2 quite a bit. And so, I wanted to do what I can to keep that individual happy with the project. And then he actually helped me uncover the fact that a pretty serious, I don't know if I want to call it a bug, but oversight exists. One that I never would have imagined, and that kind of took precedence in the last 2 weeks, and it was a difficult issue to solve. So what it is that we are not compatible with Git repositories that are stored in Azure DevOps. And that's kind of, to me and probably to Karen as well, kind of a big deal because, not that Brigade is a Microsoft project, but we do work at Microsoft. And so it's kind of reflects poorly on us if this project that we're helping to steer isn't compatible with Microsoft software that you would expect it to be compatible with. So I did a bit of research and I found that Azure DevOps is kind of unique among among Git providers. So, compare them to like GitHub or Bitbucket or JFrog. There's a few others. And the thing that's really unique about Azure DevOps is they require clients to support newer protocols that all the other providers don't require their clients to support. So they've set the bar a little higher than the others in terms of what's required for compatibility with their repositories. And so I started digging more and found that the library that we use for interacting with Git repositories, so this is when a worker or a job in Brigade actually needs to pull stuff down from a repository. We use a particular library for doing it, And we found that that library does not implement those newer protocols that Azure DevOps requires. And implementing those new protocols is such a gigantic undertaking that, that the people behind that library have basically said, yeah, this is not anything we're planning to do anytime soon. So we basically had to go and hunt down an alternative library that we could use. That in itself was pretty difficult. We found a good candidate that is official. So there is something called GitLib2, and it's an official project. So it's part of the Git project, and it's basically a C library. And they do publish bindings to other languages like Rust and Go and so forth and so on. So obviously it's the Go bindings that are most relevant to us. And that's where things got really tricky, because when you are compiling Go code that calls C libraries, you need to use something called CGO. And that is a relatively easy proposition on Linux, and we didn't have any trouble getting this working on Linux. So the whole problem of not being able to talk to Azure DevOps repositories is solvable pretty easily, as long as we're only talking about Linux. But this particular component that can yank source down from, from whatever your GitHub provider is, it also needs to be able to run on Windows nodes, because of the fact that Brigade jobs can be Windows based if you choose. And compiling Go code that invokes C libraries for Windows was extremely difficult. And I spent, I'm going to say, at least 30 hours chasing that down. So this is all roundabout to explain where all the development effort went in recent weeks, and why the things that we had planned didn't actually get done. But this is good. I think that this is an important issue to solve, and to solve sooner rather than later. So it's not as if we didn't make good progress in the last 2 weeks. It's just not where we had planned for that progress to be. And again, I'm feeling pretty okay about this, because I want the community to be steering us right now and telling us where we need to go. So this is, as far as I'm concerned, a good problem to have. So as far as what I plan to accomplish over the next 2 weeks, I'm just going to rewind to 2 weeks ago and say that we'll make these the priority again, getting these two components GA. So that's really all that I have for today. So I'll stop my screen share, and we can open up the floor if Karen has anything, or Hemant.
I wanted to ask, like, where the was it GSOC, like the summer intern situation?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, actually, that's a good question as well. Actually, a considerable amount of time went into that as well, because there.
Can you give some context as to like what it is?
Yeah, so GSOC is the Google Summer of Code, and it's a program that Google runs every summer, where I don't know if it's just for students. It might also be for early and career developers. I'm not sure. But basically, people who are kind of just getting their feet wet with, contributing to open source and that sort of thing, can look around and find open source projects that have, kind of volunteered to sponsor different projects that they need to get done. And the students put together proposals saying, oh, you said this was a thing that you had to get done, and here's who I am, and here's how I would approach this, and I'd love to work with you, and so forth. So I did spend a lot of time over the past 2 weeks reviewing proposals prior to the deadline, because they do permit that. So sponsors are permitted to review proposals and give feedback. So I spent a lot of time on that, and then I spent time also reviewing the finalized proposals that everybody submitted. I think we had about 6 or 7 that were submitted. We actually had proposed 3 different projects, and we had about 6 or 7 proposals that came in. So some people put in multiple proposals for multiple projects. And I did provide my feedback on all of those proposals, but that in no way guarantees that the ones that I was willing to accept doesn't guarantee that they will get accepted, because CNCF as a whole received, I think, 71 applications. The fact that out of 71, 6 or 7 of them were for Brigade is like really not bad. So I'll take that. That's pretty good. But hopefully, so it basically remains up in the air right now. How many slots will Google give to CNCF, and how many, if any of those slots, will CNCF allocate to Brigade? Being that we're just a sandbox project and not incubating yet, we're probably not high on the priority list, but we will see what happens. But yeah, a considerable amount of time went into that whole process over the last 2 weeks.
Wait, so do we just wait now?
Yeah, so CNCF has to basically prioritize what they want done by May 12th. So I've done my part in terms of reviewing and making my recommendations, but now it's up to people at CNCF to prioritize and request slots from Google.
And then from there, the students like pick what they want, right? And then I think we're supposed to then choose.
No, so there was a lot of confusion about this. It's so the way it all works, it's everything is considered as a unit, right? So we proposed 3 different project ideas, and then the proposals that we got from, I think, 4 or 5 different individuals, we got 7 proposals total from 4 or 5 different individuals. They talk about a specific project idea and how they would approach it. And so it is us and the idea and the student who are all considered as one unit. And it's like, will we give this the green light, or will we give this the green light? It's not like Brigade is good to go, this guy is good to go, figure out what you're going to work on together. It's not like that. It's all considered as a unit.
Okay, got it.
Which and that was I would say not obvious up front. There is a lot of, I don't mean to put anybody down at all, but there's a lot of room for improvement in how Google and CNCF and everybody involved in this just coordinates. Because I've mainly been coordinating with people from CNCF, and they're like a middleman. And so sometimes I ask them questions and they don't know the answers and they have to go chase them down. So
to be fair, I think normally this program is run by Ihor, and Ihor is currently in Ukraine. So I think that's kind of where, context.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I know it's Nate Waddington who's running it right now, and he's been nothing but awesome throughout all of this. He's been very responsive and everything, but often the answer to the question is, well, I don't know the answer, but I will find out for you. And I appreciate all of his efforts, but it's been a difficult process to understand. But I didn't have that context that it was usually run by somebody who is in Ukraine right now.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
See what else.
Hey, Kent, I also had a question. I'm audible?
Sure. We're having a little bit of trouble hearing you. You might, can you turn up the mic or speak a little louder possibly?
Yeah, sure. So am I audible now?
Much better.
Yeah. So basically, I'm a beginner and my expertise lies only in the front end development.
Mhm.
So how can I contribute to the community?
Sure. So we have only one component that has any significant front end to it, and that is the Brigade dashboard. And so that might be what you focus on if you are interested in contributing. It's all written in React and TypeScript. Are those technologies you're familiar with?
Yes, I'm familiar with. Like I've applied for the GSOC also.
Okay. Oh, awesome. Wait, did you say you applied for GSOC?
Yes.
I don't. You know what? I'm going to double check. I don't remember seeing your application, but I'm going to double check. Just in case.
I applied in the very last hour.
Oh, okay. All right.
Exams.
Thank you for letting me know. So I'm going to go back.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back and have a look. Because you're okay. I don't think I reviewed yours, so I will go back and take a look. Thank you for pointing that out.
Yes, sir. We have also discussed about the issue in the GitHub issue.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Like we have also discussed about the issues in the GitHub issue, the take prototype to GA issue.
Yes. Yep. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull this up right now. Where did it go? So you put in 2 applications?
2 as in?
Did you put in 2 applications to GSOC?
Yes, for like 2 organizations.
Looking now. Oh, okay. I see it now. Oh, April 19th you put it in.
Yes, I like put it in the last hours.
Okay. All right. So I may have missed those. So thank you for pointing that out to me. I'm glad you were here to point that out. Okay. So it's not too late for me to review because like I said, the deadline for CNCF to request whatever slots they want is May 12th. So it's not too late for me to give my feedback. So thank you for pointing that out to me. If those came in at the last minute, I had not seen them already. So thank you.
Yeah, I also had one question.
Sure.
What if that Brigade dashboard component don't get a GSOC slot? So how will the development of that component go ahead?
I'm sorry, I think I missed part of the question.
I was asking like, what if the Brigade dashboard thing does not get the slot for the GSOC? So how will the things work after that?
I don't think I'm completely understanding. You know what? Do you think it's possible we can take that question offline?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, awesome.
Are you in the Brigade Slack? Do you know where to find us?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. So ping me over there, please.
Yes, sure. I will.
Yep. Awesome. All right. If there's nothing else, I think we'll wrap this up. Okay. Thank you, guys. And I will post this to YouTube tomorrow so that the rest of the community can watch it at their convenience.
All right.
All right. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.